Today we have a Mercedes 95 SL in the shop because the larger speaker here in the door sounds distorted. We've already replaced the one in the passenger side, and it did have water damage to it and was causing some static and intermittent audio. But we're going to show you how to remove the door panel and replace this speaker. This one will take a few minutes, so let us get started. We're going to start at this small triangular panel here at the top. Clip the release the top clip on the top and then pull it up because there are two guides that go down into the panel here. Next we're going to open the door handle a little bit and pry this little panel out at the top of the I think it came down, and the bottom will pry away and then it lifts down, and the top here has to go into these little grooves when it goes back into the metal plate that sits in here, and then the bottom just clips in. Next we're going to remove one Phillips screw here at this opening with this panel removed. And then this is going to allow us to take this whole piece here, work it out under and bring it back. This is a fun one to put back on to get in the right spot here at the back edge and get it to lock in here. Then we're going to gently pry the control panel from the dashes, the control panel for the seats and so on, and from the door panel, and this will release back. This one usually has a pretty tight connector. There are several clips that hold it in place, and we can pry up the entire connector on this board to release this connector. When you put the door panel back together, be sure that you run this connector to this opening so you can connect the switch or the connector back up here. Having little problems prying this up. There we go. And that connector will release. There we go. It is keyed. There is a little round slot at one end, so this will only go back on one way. Now this is going to give access to another Phillips screw here below the last, and we're going to remove this screw. We have a full library of removal guides and do-it-yourself repairs for the stereos in this car if you have other problems. We still see the amplifier and so on in shop. Back after removing the one screw in the panel here at the top, we have one 10mm bolt that's hidden in here behind the other two panels that were removed. We're going to move on to the light assembly and pry the bottom of the light assembly from the dash. There are several clips on this that release with pry pressure. There we go, and that's going to remove the bulb, and the connector came out of that one very easily. This is going to give access to another Phillips screw down in this opening. Now we're going to move towards the back of the panel here and open up the side pocket. There is one small Phillips screw that holds a panel on here at the front. I'm going to remove that small screw and this plastic panel that goes over. And again, this gives access to a larger Phillips screw here in this opening. Again, we have a full library of removal guides along with do-it-yourself repairs for this vehicle on our website. We also have back here in the opening, there's a hole that goes back in, and there's one more Phillips in the back opening here. And this one will loosen as well. The screw tends to stay in the opening and you can't pull it out, but it is loose. Now at the black piece at the door lock here, we're going to remove one screw and remove this panel. And then with our other Phillips screwdriver, we're going to move to the silver panel here and remove 3 screws that secure this silver panel to the end of the door. This also holds the door panel on. And with these 3 screws removed, you can remove this silver panel at the end of the door, and we'll set this to the side as well. Now this is going to allow us to pull on the bottom of the door panel, releasing clips. These clips release with a little bit of pull pressure and pry pressure. And we're going to release it all the way around the edges. Now the trick here is to slightly lift it up out of the back door jamb here, the top of the panel up out of the jamb. There we go. And at the same time, you want to pull the panel slightly backwards so that you don't catch it on this switch here for the windows, and pull it out far enough so that the front of the panel clears the door handle as well. And then we can pull this slightly back, and this removes the panel. Now we want to check the panel here. There are 3 clips here on the front and 2 at the back of the panel here as well. Make sure that they remain on the panel. If they're on the door, then you'll have to pry them off the door and put them back on the panel. But we've done the opposite side here first, and we have the same problem we had on the other side here. We have a badly water damaged speaker. You can see the water on it and so on, and the cone is a little bit warped, and this speaker tends to be intermittent. And we have 4 Torx screws that hold this speaker into place. These speakers are available brand new from Bose Automotive. You can order these online. The dealership is expensive when it comes to replacing these original speakers, but you do have to stick with original speakers because the Bose speakers are specific to the vehicle. Again, these 4 screws secure the speaker to the door. They are a T20 Torx, 4 screws. Removing these 4 screws will allow us to get to the speaker and replace it. Pry the speaker from the door. That releases, and we're going to pull it from the door. Release the 2 terminals. These 2 terminals are different sizes, so when you replace the speaker, they're only going to go back to one specific lead. Now, when reinstalling the new speaker, be sure that the wires go through the groove here so that you don't pinch them when bolting the speaker back in. And I'll get us right up there and back in place. Now we have here at the bottom of the panel a drain hose that will mate with this yellow tube here. So we're going to get the door panel back on and go underneath and place this tube back into here so that the water drains properly out of the door panel. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.